Okay, so here is what we need to do for the last little bit for today. We need to figure out um, the same thing for scoria. So let me do this very quickly with you, and then I'll give you a little time to go ahead and practice before we get into the last bit. So here's what you need to do for scoria. Scoria is very similar to what we did before. Depending on where you draw your line, though, you're going to get different minerals. And this is what I meant before by everybody's not going to have the same answer. I'm going to draw my line very strategically today. And here's the reason why. I drew my line in such a way that I am only in three minerals. If I drew my line a little bit more to the right, if this were my line here, I'd have four minerals to measure. If I drew my line here, I'd also have four minerals to measure. So this is kind of me being a little sneaky and measuring from scoria only these three minerals. And here is why also I said that you wouldn't have exactly the same answers. You wouldn't have exactly the same answers because depending on where you draw your line, you're going to go through different minerals. You just need to make sure that your line is straight up and down. So as we look at this, down from scoria, actually all of these rocks, vesicular basalt, basalt, diabase, gabbro, they're all going to have the same minerals in there. Okay, so it's not just scoria that we're doing. We're doing all of them in a way. The difference between these rocks, obviously, they look different and they have different kind of properties because of how they cooled and how they formed and the conditions when they formed. So let's just go ahead and measure out our three minerals really quickly for scoria. The first mineral is going to be this one from here to here, and that's P feldspar again. The second mineral is going to be from here to here, and that's pyroxene, something new. And then the third mineral is going to be from here to the bottom of this sheet. And that is our third mineral, amphibole. So we're going to go ahead and measure out those amounts now. Okay, when I take my scrap sheet over here and I measure it, I have about 50% P feldspar. Pyroxene, I have about, let's count that out because this is a little trickier. Strange. Sorry about that. Pyroxene, I think my line was about here. Let me draw the line again. Pyroxene is from 0 to 25, 30, 35, 40, 40, 45. That's fine, I guess. And then we have to draw one more, or figure out one more, and that is this amphibole on the bottom, and I have 10. Now, you might wonder, how did I get 50, 45, and 10? This is a part where you actually have to just check real quick. 50 and 45 is 95. 95 and 10 is over 100%. You never want to go over 100%, so probably when I got messed up with the smartboard just now, instead of 45, it should have been 40. 5% is not going to make or break you. As a matter of fact, just learning how to do this is actually more than what they're going to ask you to do in the Regents, but you should still know how to do this in case they throw you a curveball. All right? So we're going to go with 50, 40, and 10 just so that it add up to 100. Also because I think my 45 was a little funky because I had to change my line. So let's go ahead and write those in. P feldspar is 50. And you're going to want to keep in the boxes. I obviously can't fit my thing in there, so I'm going to be a little sloppy with it. Amphibole was 10. And pyroxene was 40. And that's how you want to do it. What you're going to do for the rest of the sheet is figure out the ones for granite, basalt, one more on the bottom. And over here, what you're going to do is try to figure out what these are based on the clues to get the rock name, okay? Now, with that, you're going to see that there's some other information here. And the reason being for that is namely because when you have this here, I told you before, or just now I should say, that this one's not just scoria. All of these rocks from here to here have the same mineral composition. It just has to do with how it was cooked differently in the ground. to determine what type of rock it is. So what you're going to want to do is go ahead and fill those out on classwork number 14. I'd like you to share out your answers with each other and see if you could come to some kind of consensus. You're going to want to fill this out on your purple sheets, as well as some other things on your purple sheets. And if you have any time, I'd like you to go over maybe about 5 minutes to go in the period what the homework is going to be. Your homework tonight is going to be 29, 30, and 31. It's 3 homeworks. I know it's a lot, but I think you can do it, and we're going to check them all on Monday. So let's make sure that we have all of that. You can use the rest of this time to go ahead and get started, finish up classwork 14, and get started on your homework. All right, you got it. Go for it.